Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Helen Nell. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, Thailand Tzu Chi volunteers help a care recipient family fix their waterlogged home. Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers hold various events to encourage the general public to celebrate the 7th lunar month in the correct manner. And in China, the Suzhou Jingsu bookstore in Jiangsu province holds a summer camp for youth volunteers. In Thailand since 2009, Tzu Chi has been caring for a mother-son pair in the outskirts of Bangkok, bringing them much-needed aid and cash on a monthly basis. As it is currently the rainy season in the country, the family's house has been waterlogged. Upon receiving the news, Tzu Chi volunteers decided to fix their home. Taking advantage of the stop in the monsoon rains, Tzu Chi and local volunteers are helping repair Akong's home. The recent rains has left the house regularly flooded as water seeps in through the many holes in the woodwork.
I want to thank the volunteers for their monthly visits, as I personally can't do very much.
With both his arms and legs atrophied, Akong has been dependent on his mother's care for the past 17 years. Here to help are not only Tzu Chi volunteers, but local volunteers, many of whom have been helped by Tzu Chi in the past, such as this father of a scholarship recipient.
I'm very happy that Tzu Chi has given me this opportunity to aid those that really need help.
I'm happy to participate, and this is the first time for me. Today, I've been able to experience how it is to be a volunteer. I'm happy to help others, although we don't have any experience in repairing a home, but working together and giving it our all, the results are there. It is very moving to see.
Tzu Chi pays regular visits to this family, bringing supplies and cleaning the house whenever possible. Moved by the volunteers' efforts, the mother remembers to donate some of the money received to her bamboo bank, thereby continuing the relay of love. Also in Thailand, Bangkok scholarship recipient Lakhana and her family originally lived in a 2-story house, but with years of disrepair, a pillar of the house split. Therefore, Lakhana's family was forced to live in a cramped space. When Tzu Chi volunteers learned of their situation, they decided to give this family a new home. Here's more.
With a split pillar, the house now sits slanted to one side. This is the home of Tzu Chi scholarship recipient Lakhana. Originally a 2-story house, what's left is a corner safe enough for the family to live in.
When it rains hard, the waters flood the first floor. I will have to move the electronics upstairs, but sometimes it's too late and the household appliances will be soaked in water.
Concerned about the family's safety, Tzu Chi volunteers decided to extend a hand and help build Lakhana's family a new sturdy home, during which they settled Lakhana's family into a temporary home.
My house was just like theirs, and Tzu Chi helped repair my home, so I can understand what they are going through. I'm happy to be able to help.
Time did not pass by idly for Lakhana's family during this time. They collected and sorted recyclables throughout their neighborhood, hoping to repay Tzu Chi's kindness.
I didn't know that practicing recycling could help others. I always sold the recyclables for money. But now that I know I can help the needy, I would donate the recyclables to Tzu Chi and cultivate blessings for my family.
After 3 weeks of construction, Lakhana's home is finally complete. On the day of the housewarming, volunteers not only helped to paint the walls and bring daily necessities, but also invited Lakhana's teacher to extend her well wishes.
At a time when Lakhana's family was struggling, Tzu Chi volunteers gave them help. I believe she will never forget your kindness, and one day she will also become a person who helps others, just like yourselves.
Now with a sturdy roof over their heads, come the rainy season, Lakana's family no longer has anything to fear.
In New Taipei City's Banqiao district, to celebrate Father's Day, Tzu Chi volunteers invited local residents to join in a workshop where they taught participants how to make delicious and healthy vegetarian food. Among the volunteers was Yang Qilin, who showed up to talk about how a vegetarian diet has helped him relieve his pain and suffering following a stroke.
In New Taipei City's Banqiao, Tzu Chi volunteers have invited local residents to join them in a celebration for Father's Day. Among the volunteers is Yang Qilin, who showed up to share how a vegetarian lifestyle has helped him alleviate the discomforts following a stroke.
Master Zheng Yan's words of wisdom have given me great inspiration. When I just retired, I felt lost and didn't know what I could do. However, doing Tzu Chi gives me strength to carry on with my life. I feel very grateful to Tzu Chi. Thank you, Tzu Chi.
The love and care of his fellow volunteers are also a source of power for Yang, as the chorus of the Tzu Chi Policeman Welfare Association comforts every participant.
Seeing how my brother and sister-in-law live their lives in a meaningful way by spreading Master Zheng Yan's drama through songs, I truly feel happy for them.
I was really moved when I listened to their singing, because their singing was very beautiful. The lyrics are full of mercy and compassion.
The simple meatless dishes not only help local residents learn a healthy lifestyle, but also symbolize Tzu Chi's blessings to the fathers of the world.
In Taiwan, to make sure members of the public can observe the 7th lunar month in the correct manner, Tzu Chi volunteers across the island carried out a series of events to promote the concept of no animal offerings and no burning of joss paper. First, let's go to Taipei City's Shiling, where Tzu Chi volunteers used a publicity event and community broadcast to encourage members of the public to take part in the upcoming blessing ceremony.
As the 7th lunar month is just around the corner, Tzu Chi volunteers utilize a publicity event and the community broadcast to promote the concepts of no animal offerings and no burning of joss paper, as well as encouraging local residents to take part in the upcoming blessing ceremony. That evening, numerous residents are seen at the blessing ceremony, which is held at a local recycling station. Hands held together in prayer, the attendees realize blessings do not come from burning joss paper.
Encouraging people around us to adopt vegetarianism is a good way to save our planet. Tzu Chi volunteers also say that practicing recycling is an urgent task. If we don't take on the task as soon as possible, the earth will be destroyed and humanity will perish. I hope that I can gradually get used to eating vegetarian food, from eating meatless breakfasts every day to meatless meals 6 days or 10 days in a row.
Tzu Chi volunteers are devoted to disaster relief around the globe. Many children in the world have nothing to eat. Unlike these kids in Taiwan who have plenty of food, we should cherish what we have.
Learning to cherish their own blessings, these residents vow to create more blessings by adopting vegetarianism and saving the money that is used to buy joss paper to help needy people. In New Taipei City's Luzhou, Tzu Chi volunteers take advantage of the recycling day to educate participants in observing the 7th lunar month in the correct manner.
If we are unhappy, we can come here to do recycling as a way to cleanse our hearts.
For these local residents, practicing recycling is already part of their life. With the 7th lunar month fast approaching, Tzu Chi volunteers welcome everyone to join their ranks in safeguarding our environment. Meanwhile, in Tainan, Tzu Chi volunteers take to the streets to promote the idea of the auspicious 7th lunar month. Several shop owners are willing to put Tzu Chi's posters on their doors.
Tzu Chi's event is very meaningful. I will try my best to attend the blessing ceremony and invite my friends to join too.
These Tzu Chi brothers and sisters are sweating buckets. However, they don't complain. They have done a lot in safeguarding our planet.
Seeing that how Tzu Chi volunteers work relentlessly during a hot day, members of the public are inspired to join them by adopting vegetarianism and burning less just paper in observing the upcoming auspicious month.
During a trip to Taiwan's Hualien to attend the annual Tzu Chi Honorable Members Meeting this June, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers made a vow to Master Zheng Yan to recruit millions of Tzu Chi members locally. Upon returning to Malaysia, this commitment was carried out not only by adults but also by kindergarten students.
Helping Master Zheng Yan find kind-hearted people, Dai kindergarten students believe they can all do as Huang Weishen did. Weishen originally hoped to canvass 12 new Tzu Chi members, but in the span of a week, he managed to recruit 21. At the Tzu Chi annual board meeting this June, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers made a vow to recruit millions of bodhisattvas to join their ranks. Not only did Dai kindergarteners commit themselves to this effort, volunteers also took to the streets and markets in search of promising new members. The response they encountered weren't always so forthcoming.
If we get rejected, we say thank you, that's all.
Currently a training volunteer, it is a sense of commitment that gives Tang Jingding the determination to walk the streets and alleys, eventually recruiting over 60 members in addition to her own 200. Thinking of the cancer cells in her body, she is even more determined not to give up.
A little would be great, just 3 Malaysian ringgit each month. It's not much, less than a cup of tea. I'm not discouraged. I don't even think of myself as a sick person. I feel normal.
Meanwhile, Tzu Chi volunteer Wu Zhizhong recruits members via instant messaging.
We exchange ideas on how to recruit more bodhisattvas, and we spread the ideas to others.
It is with the same belief and direction that Tzu Chi members of the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter continue to increase in number by the day. Within a month's time, over 14,000 people were recruited, showing once again the power of great love.
In Taiwan, after 2 months of construction, Taichung Jingsi Books and Cafe is now officially open to the public. At the opening ceremony, volunteers and local residents came together in celebration, and a traditional Chinese music club made out of Tzu Chi volunteers put on a performance to celebrate the occasion.
At the opening ceremony, a roar of drum lights up the venue. Then 95-year-old Tzu Chi volunteer rings a bell. Taichung Jingsi Books and Cafe officially opens to the public. For both volunteers and members of the public, this is a day that has been eagerly anticipated. Parents bring their children here to enjoy time in a specially designed space.
Look, it's brushing its teeth. Do you brush your teeth?
Many children quickly pick their favorite books and start reading. With its elegant decor and the spacious design, the cafe allows everyone to enjoy a quiet environment.
This Jingsi Books and Cafe is spacious. Staring at this place, I feel myself become more open-minded.
At the bookstore, other than Tzu Chi's publications, there are a large variety of books to choose from. The general public is always welcome to come by to enjoy a cup of coffee and bring peace into their hearts and minds.
In China's Jiangsu province, the Suzhou Jingsu bookstore recently organized a summer camp for youth volunteers to teach them the spirit of serving others. Tzu Chi volunteers took these youngsters to a local recycling station where the volunteers taught them how to sort recyclables.
Seeing their children serving tea and expressing their gratitude has these parents moved to tears. A little girl also thoughtfully wipes away her mother's tears of joy.
We learned that we can, in fact, bring up our children this way. We adults should be more mindful in educating our kids. Rather than saying we accompany them, we can see that they also teach us a few lessons along the way, and we can learn from each other.
The Suzhou Jingsu bookstore organized a summer camp for their young volunteers and also invited their parents to come along. Here, children learn that recycling ideals must be put in practice. I think the children are learning things they can't learn elsewhere. For example, recycling. I think in future I will bring them here more often so that he can learn more about recycling. The lyrics, which are full of Tzu Chi's philosophy, inspire these youngsters to cherish their own blessings, and all are eager to give a little of their love.
Moving back to Taiwan, after holding English summer camps in Hualien, U.S. Tzu Qings and Chi Sao visit the Tainan Tzu Chi Senior High School to study and learn from their Taiwanese peers.
In Tainan, Tzu Qings from the United States are happily listening to the drum performance of the Tzu Chi High School students. This one short day gave both the visitors and the local youngsters many unforgettable memories.
They are all really well-mannered. When they see Master Zheng Yan and Tzu Chi aunts and uncles, they always remember to say thank you. When we were eating, they asked the Tzu Chi aunts if they wanted to get their food first.
I can't choose. That's the problem.
It's the first time for many to see such interesting toys like the spinning top. Even though there's a language barrier, youngsters are still able to interact with each other.
They just came
from Hualien and are still sad because they had to say goodbye to the friends they met there. We need to use this short day we have and try to create new bonds.
Friendship is blossoming, and the teenagers are cherishing the time they have left, hoping they get a chance to come to Taiwan and meet their new friends once again.
In the United States, the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts recently visited the Tzu Chi Great Love Elementary School in Los Angeles to teach the children how to plant flowers and make their own handicraft.
Friendly and helpful. Friendly and helpful. To help people at all times.
The World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts were invited to the Tzu Chi Great Love Elementary School in Los Angeles to hold arts and culture classes for the children.
I'm painting my butterfly for Girl Scouts. It's going to turn out very good.
Drawing their own idea of a butterfly, the youngsters also put their own idea of a butterfly on their flower pot.
Do you like mine? We're painting. Yay!
Planting flowers, fruits and vegetables is what the students are learning these days. The teachers always emphasize how important it is to use just the right amount of fertilizer.
What happens if you put too much water? It will die, yeah. So you gotta make sure it's not too much water because you don't want your flower to drown.
The children learn how much effort and time it takes for fruits and vegetables to grow. Bananas, pears and strawberries are cut into small pieces to become fresh vegetarian snacks that are not only really tasty but also good for our own health.
In the United States, after tornadoes devastated Oklahoma in late May, Panda Express, a fast food Chinese restaurant chain, worked with Dallas Tzu Chi volunteers to organize cash card and food distribution to help the survivors. On July 27th, the restaurant opened a new store in Oklahoma where they invited Tzu Chi volunteers to carry out a charity event, of which the proceeds will be used to help the tornado survivors.
Panda Express opens a new store in Oklahoma. Here at the official opening, the store not only invites Tzu Chi volunteers to celebrate the occasion, but also provides free meals to the customers.
I'm so honored to be a part of it, that Panda Express, we believe the same value. Our value is the giving. So I have a great opportunity to join you and then do some donation on our food, and with the guests donate some money to help to your charity, to donate to people who are victims and Oklahoma victims.
The store not only places Tzu Chi's bamboo coin banks on the counter, but also sends their mascot to canvas for donations.
We have made money from society, so we have to give back. I think the Panda Express Group shares a common vision with the Tzu Chi Foundation. I believe that in the near future, both organizations will have more opportunities to work together.
Sharing a common vision of giving back to the local community, the Panda Express restaurant works in cooperation with Tzu Chi volunteers in order to spread the seeds of love far and wide.
In May of this year, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers returned to Taiwan to participate in Jingsi tea ceremony classes. Today, the volunteers have brought this tradition back to their own communities. Next, let's take a look at the volunteers tea ceremony held at the U.S. Tzu Chi headquarters.
Washing hands has the same meaning as cleansing your heart. The U.S. Tzu Chi headquarters holds a Jingsi tea ceremony class at the San Dimas Grant in California to share with participants how a cup of tea can unite the whole family.
This is not just a simple tea ceremony, but also a part of Tzu Chi's humanistic education, because this class teaches us to bond with each other. I think it brings families and people together.
Serving the tea with a grateful heart helps the participants feel the warmth of family. Many Tzu Chi volunteers also come to learn how to bring this warmth back to their communities.
The teacher said that learning the art of tea ceremony is a lifetime lesson. We really feel that it is not only learning but also a means of self-cultivation.
I am filled with Dharma because the classes back in Taiwan were really fulfilling. I was itching to bring my experiences back to the US and share it with others.
Some male participants who were used to drinking coffee now decide to try out tea. The lecturer says that skills are not as important as the heart and encourages all to form good affinity with others through tea ceremony.
We go back to Taiwan at the end of the show to celebrate the 7th lunar month. A Taiwanese opera performance starring Sun Cui-feng will be performed at the Taichung Jingsi Hall this weekend. It is estimated that 4,000 people will participate in the event. We'll leave you with these images. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.